So the building blocks of social structure, guys, will be the fourth and last title, in your exam materials. The meaning of culture, the one that we have finished earlier, is not included. So you have only examining social life, the development of sociology, and the third one, modern perspectives. And here is the fourth and last one, social structure. What do I mean by social structure, guys? Can you remind me? Have you a clue? A clue. And what's a social structure, guys?
And
Someone.
technologies, symbols.
No, 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 Mustafa. Technology, symbols, value, language, norms, all of these are components of cultures. The meaning of culture,
Yeah, yeah.
the one that is not included in your exam material. Okay? But my interest here is social structure, statuses, and roles. A single human being will have multiple statuses at any given time. So the social structure consists of statuses and roles, and we have two kinds of statuses, ascribed and achieved. For the ascribed ones, the ascribed statuses were simply given to you by birth without any effort. They were simply granted to you, okay? Like your age, your gender, your race, and so on. Uh, who Please mute your mic if you are not using it because of the surrounding noise. So the ascribed statuses, guys, were given to you by birth without any effort. While on the other hand, the achieved ones, you have to work in order to achieve them. You must spend some effort in order to get them. Like your profession, to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher, a football player, or even a student. Something that you have to spend some effort in order to achieve it. So we have two social statuses, ascribed and achieved. Of course, the package includes some rules. What do I mean by the package? Of course, in order to accomplish your social status, in order to fulfill your social status, there are some rules attached to it, like to be a student, like to hold a social status of a student. Of course, you are expected to perform some tasks, like to go to school every single day, to do your homework, and so on. All of these roles are attached to the social status. So the society expects you to behave in a certain way. The role expectation, okay, are the socially determined behaviors expected of a person performing a role. Like to be a student, you have to wake up early, go to school. Hopefully, we can go to school and so on. Like a doctor treats his patient with skill and care. But in the real world, there is something else. This is the role performance. Of course, some doctors do not treat their patients with the best possible care. But the social structure, by the social structure, I mean statuses and roles. Okay? You occupy a status, but you play a role in order to fulfill the status you are holding. So the status is a socially defined position in a group or in a society. Every single one of us holds multiple social statuses at any given time. The social status describes an individual position in a group or in a society. We have two social statuses, ascribed and achieved, but only one of them will be used as identification. For example, if I wanna the greatest role you are playing, right now in the meanwhile will be used as a unique ID, as the significant role you are playing. Like nowadays, of course, your master status will be, what do you think? Boys, teenagers,
Teenager.
teenagers. Wow, you are my hero, but let me see your name first. Who are you? Who said teenager? Mr. Teenager,
Uh,
Yusuf Tamer. Your master status nowadays is teenager. The most important role you are playing in your life right now is
Teenager.
teenager. Exactly. You are my hero. You are my hero, Yusuf.
We said it yesterday.
I said that yesterday that the most important role you are playing in your life right now, your master status is teenager. Do you agree to Yusuf's opinion, guys? Please give me, please give me some hope. What?
No, student.
A student, Mu'taz. This is your master status, Yusuf. The most important role you are playing in your life right now is a student, not a teenager.
Mister, yesterday you said a teenager goes to school, so a student is a part of a teenager.
So this gonna mean that all the teenagers will go to school.
It's the normal thing.
The normal thing. This what happened in the real world.
معرفش بقى.
Nowadays, what's my master status? Let me talk about myself. My master status to be a
Teacher.
grown up. A
Teacher?
grown up.
A teacher?
Why? Why teaching? Why not a
Because,
grown up? Why not a grown up?
Your profession, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, your occupation, your profession. ماشي?
Okay.
But please, guys, keep in your mind that right now your master status is
Yes.
student. Okay? So the master who is waiting, Said. Okay. So your master status will be the greatest role in sharpening your life. Remember, two kinds of social statuses, ascribed and achieved. Ascribed were given to you. To achieve, you have to spend some effort. You have to work in order to achieve them. And we have a lot of examples about the achieved and the ascribed statuses. In order to fulfill the tasks that comes with the social status, there are some roles, some tasks. So the role is the behavior expected of someone occupying a particular status. And keep this sentence in your mind. You occupy a status, but you play a role. Some roles, some roles requires a partner. Like in order to get the role of a husband, of course, you must have a wife, regardless of the single mother issue right now. But in order to earn yourself the title of a teacher, of course, you must have a student, doctor, patient, coach, athlete, and so on, boss and employee. We have a lot of reciprocal roles. So the reciprocal roles means two, not only one can do it. Define patterns of interaction between related statuses. We have some expectations of these tasks, like the expectation of a student to wake up early, to go to school, to do his homework, and so on. So the role expectations are the socially determined behaviors expected of a person performing a role. Please, you can stop me at any given time. I'm just reminding you about what we have discussed yesterday. So the society expects the doctor to treat his patients with skill and care. This is the model. But of course, in the real world, we have something else. We have the role performance does not always match the behavior expected by the society. Some doctors do not treat their patients with the best possible care. Okay, let's go back at this picture first. Remember that any human being will have multiple statuses at any given time. So, what about the relationship between these different statuses? Of course, you are required to fulfill the roles of all of these statuses at the same time because we hold too many social statuses. Like talking about yourselves, you are a student, you are a son and a brother, and even a grandson and an athlete, a gamer, a YouTuber, for example. So you have too many statuses and you want to fulfill them. You want to fulfill the roles of all of these statuses at any given time. So there must be some kind of interaction between these statuses. So we have the role strain and the role conflict. Let's have a look here at our friend. She's an athlete, okay? She wanna be the best on the team. She wanna be the best player, okay? But at the same time, she do not wanna make her teammates look bad. What does this mean? Nothing, right? Right? Guys,
What, Mr.
please do not let me talk to myself a lot.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no, no. We're here. We're here.
okay, guys, from the beginning. We have a status, okay? We have a social status, like to be a student, for example. Of course, the social status comes with a set of roles. We have something called role set. ماشي? So the role set is simply a group of tasks, a group of roles attached to this social status. The social status is a student. So what's the role set? The group of roles for this social status: to go to school, to wake up early, do your homework, and so on. So we're gonna collect all of these roles and we will put them together in a role set. So every single social status had a group of roles, and this we're gonna call it role set. Okay, so sometimes the roles will get together, will interact. Let me tell you something. Okay, you are let's say that we have a social status of a parent and another social status of a good worker. A person have two social statuses, okay? A parent and a worker. Of course, in order to be a good employee, you need to go to work every single day, right? And in order to be a good parent, you must take good care of your sick child, for example. So here is a conflict. Which one I'm gonna choose? To go to work or to take care of my sick child? So this is gonna mean that I must leave one in order to accomplish the other. Got the idea? In
Oh,
order,
yes.
How sick are we talking about?
what, Mustafa?
How sick are we talking about?
How sick?
Mm-hmm.
You must take care of him. You must sit next to him. Okay? It's only an example. So this means Mustafa, this means guys that in order to fulfill one of the roles, you must leave the other. Like the example here, our friend here, she is a team member, student, and a granddaughter. Okay, every one of these social statuses needs a role. Team member, she needs to go to her training practice. For a student, she must do her homework. As a granddaughter, she must visit her grandmother, all of them at the same time. So this is gonna mean she will leave two and accomplish one. This is the role conflict. In order to fulfill one of the roles attached to the social statuses, you must leave the other. This is the role conflict, guys.
So,
While for the, yes,
sir, she has 24 hours. She can do all of this in one day.
I know it's only an example just to
Oh,
show you what's going on. You have a lot of roles, a lot of tasks in your life. Not all of the roles related to a single social status. Okay, like to go either to go to work or to take care of your sick child. So in order to do one, you must leave the other. Okay, this is the role conflict. To leave one and accomplish the other. On the other hand, the role strain, both of them can be done. Okay, all of the tasks can be done. Like our friend, she wanna be the best player on the team, and at the same time, she do not wanna her teammates looks bad in order to show that she is the best player. Like, let me tell you something. We have a boss and a group of workers. Okay, of course, the simply overload the workers with overtime. He forced them to work extra hours in order to finish their job, for example. But at the same time, he will maintain their morale. And at the same time, he can simply do the two tasks, the two roles without losing anyone. So he can keep the morale of the workers, and at the same time, he will force them to work extra hours. Like, for example, of course, I'm not talking about our Middle Eastern countries here. He can simply their morale. Okay. So all of these guys are just examples to show you what's the difference between role conflict and role strain. So briefly, role strain, all the roles can be done together. Role conflict, you must leave one in order to accomplish the other. While asking, what's your master status? Nowadays, Mu'taz had told me that my master status is a student. So this is gonna mean you will be studying for all of your life. Do you think so?
No.
No.
So
No.
what will happen? What will happen, for example, when you are done with studying in your life? When you are
Uh,
done after
you work.
college, inshallah, of course, you're gonna work. But your relationship with studying will be done. So this gonna be role exit. Okay? When you detach from a role. Like, for example, ex-convicts. Of course, after getting out of jail, he will not he will not have this social status to be a convict anymore. Divorced people, mothers who lost custody of their children, they will lose the social status of a mother or of a parent. So we have the role exit when your relationship with this role is done. What's the benefit of all of the social structures in the world? Why do we have something called a social structure? Simply because when the statuses and roles are organized to satisfy even one of the basic needs of the society, this will be a social institution. Okay? If all of the people fulfill their social statuses by performing the actual roles the society required them to do, they can organize a social institution. What's a social institution? What is this word? A social institution can be a family. Of course, family is the smallest community or the smallest society, group of people organized to perform a task. This is the social institution, like a family, like the economic institution. What's the economic institution? Who's gonna help me here? What's economic institution? Any help? Any hint? Yes? Okay, you can go to the bathroom. Yes, economic institution, guys. Guys, sleepy. We are still at the
Yes,
beginning
sir.
of the day.
Mister, it's a group of people like a family or a society.
No. Family economic institution, it's the branch in the society that is responsible for producing and distribution of goods, production, distribution, and consumption of goods. The political institution to shape and to enforce the law, education, to transfer value and knowledge, religion, shared beliefs among the people. All of these are examples for social institutions. Keep in your mind.
Assalamu
Keep in your.
alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you, Amir? Keep in your
Alhamdulillah.
mind,
I'm very
guys.
sorry for my lateness.
No problem. Later on, Amir, you can check the recorded video. Keep in
Okay,
your
thank you.
mind, guys, keep in your mind that you cannot visit a social institution. It's a structure. It's not a place. It's not a physical place. What's important to me here, the definition of a social institution and examples for social institutions in the world. We have the family, we have the economic institution, we have the political, education, and religion. And now I can tell you, we have reached the end of our lesson. If you have any questions, please be my guest. If not, I can ask you some.
I don't think any of us has any question.
Okay, have a look here, guys. Number one says, is the status that ranks above all the other statuses. This one needs ES. And plays the greatest role in sharpening the person's life and determining his or her social identity. This gonna be yes. Any volunteers? Or should I choose yes, Amjad?
Master status.
Master status. Thank you very much. The master status can be yes, Hamza.
أنا أدهم. معلش
Adham, sorry. Okay, go. The master status can be either or.
Achieved or ascribed.
Thank you. During adulthood, master status is often based on one's
Profession or occupation.
thank you. Alhamdulillah, sorry. Which one change over time?
Achieved status.
Master status.
Master status. Nowadays, your master status is student. But of course, later on in your life, inshallah, maybe your master status will be a doctor, an engineer, and so on, your profession. are the corresponding roles that define the patterns of interaction between related statuses. Two roles comes together in a package. In order to get this social status, you need a partner.
Reciprocal role.
Reciprocal roles. Number 6 is the different roles attached to a single status. Remember, while talking about students, of course, a student comes with a package of roles to go to school, to wake up early, do your homework, and so on. So what we're gonna call the group of roles. Role set. Okay. It's a role set. The contradictory expectations within and between overall sets can lead to
Role conflict and or role strain.
yes, can lead to role conflict or role strain. Are the group of statuses and roles that are organized to satisfy one or more of the basic needs of the society. The last slide.
Social institutions.
Yes, social institutions.
social structure.
Social institutions, not social structure. Okay, social institution, because remember, the social structure consists of roles and statuses. Okay, but why we have roles and statuses in the society? Because if they are organized together, they can form the social institution. And we have mentioned 5 examples of the social institutions. Do you remember any of them?
Family.
Religion, education,
Religion.
government, the economy.
These are 3.
Economic
Family,
institution.
education, religion, economic,
Political
government.
institution.
Okay.
Family.
Family ليه yes.
Economic institution.
Economic, political,
Yes.
Institution.
religion. Yes. Now, guys, I can tell you that we have reached the end of our lesson.